All right. S12. It should be live once again. Okay, so I will continue where we left off here. Actually, we left off at quite a good point. It cut off at a point where I was going to talk about copper, and I know this is a thing that is asked by quite a lot of people, and I actually wanted to devote sometime after the stream or after kind of like the things that I want to talk about copyright. But since someone already just asked it, I will cover it right here and right now so we can get it out the way. I mean, if anyone has any further questions or if I'm asked about live stream again, sorry, not live stream, copyright again, then I will be like, well, I'll explain it again. So this is my understanding of copyright. Again, different people may have different people may have different um, viewpoints, experiences, minds about like copyright. But this is how I I want to tell you that copyright works. So copyright only works. Okay, so you need to note this. Copyright works when YouTube. So imagine YouTube is like this big brain, all right, that has like all the songs that you know. Is this big brain that it has all the songs that it knows and you know very well. Okay, so let's say if you on a stream you play the music track of I don't know, some Linkin Park song is real popular. I don't know why that came in my head. That was just the first band that was in my head. Let's say you play some highly popular song, right? And once you upload or you live stream that song, YouTube will then process its YouTube will do processing on your content. It will detect all kind of like the sound, the videos that you play, and once it hears the tunes of the Linkin Park song, for example, it will use its big brain to be like, hey, I recognize this. This is a copyright thing. So once it recognizes that there is copyright song in there, it will then it will then kind of just tag your video. Okay, your video has been copyrighted because your video has this Linkin Park track from whatever time to whatever time, right? That I can make a whole portion about this, but I'll try to summarize here what I know. So once YouTube detects that you have copyright in your welcome back, Stop Answer. Thank you for coming back here. So once YouTube detects that you have copyright in your video, a few things can happen. One, and this is what usually happens. YouTube will just be like, okay, for that portion of the live stream, you will not make any money whatsoever. So, yeah, so it will kind of like you will not be able to be monetized for that particular point in the live stream. Some in another instance, so this is the second thing that could happen. In some instances, if the artist is really stingy, or they don't like you, or they don't like their music being used, and trust me, this has happened before. There are cases, very recent cases. I'm not going to say the artist, but there are recent cases where when a song is used, even for reaction purposes, when a song is being played back, there was an artist that didn't like the song being played back, and um, so actually what YouTube did was YouTube just made sure that whoever reacted to this song, played the song on their video, their live stream, no monetization at all. Which means that if you make a 3-hour live stream and you just play that track for like 30 seconds, no monetization. That's it, the end. Your money not even in the bank. All right. So yeah, this also can happen, so be very careful about this. And third, and this is the very rare case, so if this happens to you, like, this is very rare, but it does happen. If let's say the artist really hates you, or maybe you're doing the same thing repeatedly, let's say maybe you keep reusing or replaying Taylor Swift song, for example, I don't know, right? Let's say you keep playing Taylor Swift songs, and then um you keep getting, like, copyright claims and all that, but you don't listen. Be very careful, because your channel could then get a ban, and your channel can get removed of YouTube. So, but this only usually happen in repeat offenses. Don't really happen the first time around. Usually the first time around they will kind of just strike you. So yeah, do take note of that. Okay, so those are the things that could happen if you get a if you play copyrighted music on your channel. Now, I'm still not done. All right. What you can do to avoid this happening to your channel is you can actually use non-copyright alternatives, and these are things that people might not know. Um, I will say, I will say one thing here, and that is for video game music. Because I think most people here are into video games. For video games, most of the times, the music should be fine in them, unless you're talking about, mainstream music that is appearing in video games. For example, like GTA, they have the radio, and they have some like actual like licensed songs in there. So don't play that. Don't play that. But if it's a music that is just made solely for the game, it should mostly be fine. I don't think personally I've ran into an issue where like a game audio has got me copyrighted, a game soundtrack's got me copyrighted. Not at least to my knowledge. So yeah. So I just want to put it out there. Video games, it should be fine. But anyways, if you're looking for kind of music to non-copyright music, these are some things you can look at. The most common one that I think most people know of is NCS. So actually, NCS, they have a variety, a bunch of different genres that you can listen to. It's probably the most popular no copyright place for music. So that is one. You can get your non-copyright music from here. I will show you two more that are a little bit less well known. The other one that not many people know of is Nefx. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, but it should be Nefx. Also, if you're enjoying this stream, please leave a like and subscribe for more. I want to see how this stream does. I want to see how this type of content does. So if you're enjoying, please at least let me know, that this is what you want to see, because I can go more in depth in this. This is just the very kind of like basic things that people should know here. So another one is Nefx, which they produce quite good music as well, mostly non-copyright as well, but they are mostly more kind of like the rock kind of genre. So if you're into that kind of music, maybe look into Nefx a little bit. They do also do rap a little bit. Yeah, I for the OGs that really know me for like a long time, one of my first alerts that I made, I used like when I live stream on Twitch back in 2020. Fun fact that anyways, the song in the background I used for my alerts was from Nefx. So there you go. Okay, so that is another no copyright music producer that you can look at. Another one that you can look at, and this is a little bit uncommon because these guys, they also produce covers, so be careful. But usually the non-copyright music, they will label it for you, so you kind of know like which one is non-copyright and which one is a cover. If you see non-copyright label, you know that is non-copyright. Another one is OnLap. OnLap is kind of like an indie band as well, a little bit more rock as well. They did a cover of like Chandelier a few months back, really awesome. Honestly, no relation to anything here, but because it's not even no copyright, but yeah, it's pretty good music. It's pretty good music. So OnLap is another uh thing you can look at if you're interested in getting no copyright music. Okay, so that is all I'll talk about the copyright, because I still have to get back to um the actual things here that I prepared for today's live stream. I mean, feel free to ask questions if you're not entirely sure about what. If you want more clarification on just like copyright, or I don't know, just things that maybe you don't understand in general, right? So we're gonna get back to the live stream. Oh, sorry, so the presentation. I feel so weird saying presentation slides. Because okay, hang on one sec. Whoa. Okay, anyways, I feel so weird saying presentation slides because I feel like I'm in school. So please bear with me. But I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so we're gonna start with we're gonna come back here talking about video recording and live streaming software. As I mentioned earlier, the reason why I lump this together is because they are one and the same. Most of the three software I listed here, all of them can do video recording. All of them can also do live streaming. Now, I'll talk a little bit about these three. But ideally, at the end of the day, whatever whatever you want to choose, that is up to you. I can only give you what I think is good and what I think is bad about them. So let's start with OBS Studio. Now, OBS Studio is the most common of all these three. I think just Google OBS Studio or just YouTube OBS Studio. You probably know what it is. I mean, your dog probably uses OBS Studio if you have one. It's just that you don't know it. But OBS Studio is really popular. It's really simple, but if you want to customize it for advanced things as well, you can do it. We'll not talk about any software kind of things here, but if you want another stream for this, please let me know. Okay, so but basically, as you can see, that it's the free open source software, and yeah, so these are just things that I just lifted up from the website. Basically, OBS Studio, I would recommend this for two reasons. One, I think because if you are encountering any problems with OBS Studio, it's very simple for you to just YouTube a tutorial on how to fix it. There'll probably be fixes for it. Very easy to find fixes as compared to the other two video recording and live streaming software that is not popular. That's what I recommend OBS Studio for. The second reason why I would recommend OBS Studio is because, like, if you actually want to go into advanced live streaming, OBS Studio actually has a good base for it as compared to the other two. So those are the two reasons why I would choose OBS over the other two. Yeah, so that's what I feel about OBS Studio. We'll talk about Prism Live Studio now. For you can see the description there. I'm not going to go through it, but Prism Live Studio, from my experience, this is how I feel about it. It's basically OBS Studio, but with additional features built in. And you might be saying, why has no one talked about this then if it has additional features built in? Well, because it's not that popular. It's not that popular right now because it just released, I think, quite a while ago. Funnily enough, interestingly enough, Prism Live Studio are also working like on a mobile version of like their own software, which is really cool. That is not related to anything. I'm just putting that out there. Prism Live Studio is something that you should look at if you're really a beginner, because most of the things that beginner needs are all built into there. Whereas with OBS Studio, this is where I can kind of compare and kind of tell you which one's better, which one's worse, and which one, you know, you want here with practical applications. Okay, now I'm gonna give you a practical application. All right. For example, if I'm a streamer and I want to put, say, my chat on the screen, a chat on the screen. In OBS Studio, the process is long because you have to kind of just like manually change the link every time, and then make sure that you do like the graphics for the chat. So basically, there are a few steps in the process. With Prism Live Studio, it is easy. You just click on one button, configure one thing. That's it. You're good to go. And then Prism Live Studio will configure everything. And if you're someone that has a webcam, OBS Studio, it has a bunch of features, background removal, all that. But Prism Live Studio has this as well, and you can put virtual backgrounds in them for free if you want to, without downloading any any external software that's not from Prism. So these are kind of things that make Prism a little bit better. But overall, if you're looking to get into advanced live streaming, I still recommend OBS Studio because Prism is good for beginners, but it does not have kind of like advanced integration. You might be thinking, what the hell am I talking about with advanced integration? It's alright if you don't know what that means for now, because this is the beginner level, so I'm not gonna try and kind of just feed you everything. I'm not gonna magneto you, alright? Just calm down, or calm down. Just gonna let you know the basics, all you need to know, okay? And then we got, last but not least, we got Polypop. This is a very interesting one that not many people know of. The best way I can describe this, apart from the description there, is imagine Unity, but Unity is a live streaming software. That is what Polypop essentially is. It's like a 3D software, and this is very game changing, but do note that this is very resource intensive. So if you don't have a good computer, I don't recommend doing this at all. But if you have like the best high tech computer out there, try at least looking at Polypop, because that is something that will help you stand out. Because let's say for example, you know how in my live streams I do have, for people that have been here, I do have sometimes redemptions that you can do, and then sometimes like a video will pop out, a sound will pop up. In Polypop, the very interesting thing that can happen there, and this is a good value proposition, a good thing that you want to consider if you want to make yourself stand out. All right, this is a star point. This is a star point. So take note. In Polypop, you can have assets that are in 3D. So what do I mean by this? In case you don't know, so let's say you have a coin asset, right? And maybe someone says the command exclamation mark money, a coin will pop up. So in OBS, I can only do 2D, right? The coin can only be flat. You can only maybe if I do a 2D if I do the money command, a 2D coin will pop out and it's flat. You can't like rotate it. In Polypop, you can. Let's say maybe you want to make the coin, let's say roll in, for example. You can do that. It can roll in, and then it can just flop over to head, flop over to tails if you want to. This is really cool, right? That is really cool, Polypop. I did experience it. One thing that I didn't like at the time I experienced it was that this is just my experience, so don't let this hinder you from trying this out. The customer experience wasn't really that great for me, because I had a issue and then I tried to like ask them. They were not very friendly with me, but that don't let that deter you from trying it out. It's a really cool, unique software. Take a look at it. It is at least worth a look, in my opinion. If you're doing video recording and live streaming, it will really help you stand out. And if you have a computer that can support it, even better. Okay, so that is the 3 softwares that I recommend for video recording and live streaming. Have a look at them, have a play around with them, see what each one can do. Look up YouTube videos and see which one works best for you. If you want me to do an in-depth coverage of like one of these softwares, please do let me know. Unless it's Polypop, then probably I can't do it, because yeah, it's too a hand. But if you want me to do a kind of just a beginner's tutorial on OBS and Prism, then I could do it as well. Okay, I spent a lot more time on that than I really want to, but it's okay. It's okay. So far, once again, if you want to ask any questions at any point in time, feel free to do it. Also, if you're just joining in and you like to, you want to support the channel, please leave a like and subscribe as well. It really helps me know that you're enjoying the content. It really helps the channel to grow as well. Because this is my first time doing this kind of content, so it would be really much appreciated if you can show me some support, so that I know that you want me to keep going this kind of route here. Okay, so this is my experience. I kind of talked about it in the previous kind of slide, but I'll just kind of briefly go through it here. Most use software, easy to get help, as I mentioned before. Kind of improve functionality with plugins, so that's kind of like the advanced functionality I was talking about. If you don't know what 0.3 under OBS Studio means, that's okay. As a beginner, you don't need to know. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention, the updates can be a bit troublesome. So sometimes if you're using OBS Studio, it might prompt you to keep updating. Now, if you're not careful, if you update and you don't save your settings, in OBS, you need to be very, very careful. If you don't update and you don't save your settings, let's say you have like 5 scenes that you created, but if you don't save them when you update, be careful, because if you don't save them when you update, they will not appear there. There you have to redo everything all over again. So be very mindful. That's why I put the point there. Updates can be a bit troublesome, so be careful with this. So me personally, what I usually do is I don't update my OBS unless 2 things. 1, there's a huge major update, like game-changing update, or 2, my OBS starts like suddenly it's not working or something, then I'll update it. So these are the 2 cases that I will say update. If not, never update, because they can be troublesome. How are you doing, Chris? We're just talking about the different video streaming and video recording softwares right now. So welcome. So Prism Live Studio, I did mention also as well, more built-in features with OBS, a similar interface to OBS. So if you use Prism Live Studio and let's say, okay, you don't want to use it anymore, you want to go to OBS, you will feel very at home because the UI is very similar. Does not support plugins. That is why no advanced integration. Once again, I would like to reiterate, if you don't know what plugins mean, if you don't know what advanced functionality means, it's okay. This is meant for beginners. I'm just putting it there for people that who maybe are a little bit more advanced, a little bit more experienced with live streaming. If they see this, they'll be like, okay, good. I need to try to be useful for everybody as well, but more focus on beginners. Now, Polypop, as I mentioned, is unique. It's literally like Unity with a live streaming software. That's why it's unique, as it supports 3D. Like I said, if you can get this working on a computer, if you have a good enough computer, I would recommend at least looking at it and see what you can do with it, because it's really good. Trust me, it's really good. And I don't know how many people are doing this right now, but I don't think many people are using Polypop, so that's something you can look at. Good computer required, of course. Not much usage currently, at least in my opinion. I don't think I've seen a lot of 3D assets, being used. So yeah, it's really game changer. You will see the difference if you play around Polypop. You know what I mean? Okay, so that covers the 3 different software from my experience, good and bad. Good and bad. Of course, feel free to ask anywhere if you're unsure of anything. And now we'll go into video editing. So again, this is about content creation here. So I'll try to kind of like, I tried to, what is the word I'm looking for? I've tried to, hang on one sec. Let me, okay. I've tried to make sure that everyone is sort of happy with everything. So I include video things as well, just in case you want to use it. So again, with video editing software, in fact, I think with video editing software, there's so many out there that I've not used all of them, and I literally cannot cover all of them. So I picked out, I think, 2 or 3 here that I think are that I've used personally, and I can at least comment on them. So yeah, okay. Yeah, I added a disclaimer as well, because I've not used many video editors, because usually I just download one, and it's usually quite useful for me, so I don't like have to uninstall and re-download another ones. That makes sense. So yeah, there might be video editors that I might not use that are actually good, but this is what I feel is good. Okay, and this is what I've used. So these 3 I think quite recent. If you are someone who's a boomer like me who started making videos years and years ago, I think maybe only one out of these 3 software might have been available back then. Yeah, I think so. Maybe. So we'll start with Kden Live. So Kden Live is, I think, like the oldest of the 3. I could be wrong with this. But it's a very kind of easy to use software. You don't have, like, personally, I used it a lot when I was making videos like a few years ago. Now I do not use it. But it's still pretty good software. It's okay, but it's very minimalistic in my opinion. But if you just want to just kind of cut clips and put them together, Kden Live does the job for you. It's a very basic video editor. I believe you can do some edits in them, but I believe there are better options that I'll address here. Okay, that's for Kden Live. Now, DaVinci Resolve is one that I've not used a lot. And fun fact here, I think this software is quite old as well, but maybe it wasn't called DaVinci Resolve back then. Or maybe it was, because I can't remember. Because if you actually look at the description on the slide there, if you look at the last line, it said developed by Blackmagic Design. Fun fact, actually, I years ago, maybe like 10 years ago, I could be like off with this, but about like 10 years ago, I attended a workshop from Blackmagic Design on how to use their video editing software. Again, I don't know if they called it DaVinci Resolve back then, but I remember being wowed by it. I remember being like, wow, this is amazing. But I feel personally, when I remember getting back to kind of like use it, I remember DaVinci Resolve having a steep learning curve. So that's something to be careful for. I do know it's probably one of the more popular software. Also, sorry, I forgot to put this out there. All software that I mentioned here, video recording, video editing, live streaming, all software that I mentioned here, completely free. No charge at all. Okay. All right. So everything I'm telling you here, it's free. It's free. All right. Free 99. Yeah. So why not? DaVinci Resolve. I think it's quite good. It just has a steep learning curve. I never used it that much but from the effects that it can do, from the edits it can do, I remember it being quite good and it looking quite good. Now the one that I recommend and the one I'm using right now, again, this is my recommendation. It's just my advice. You don't have to take it. But the one I recommend now is CapCut. Now CapCut is so easy to use, and I could be wrong with this, but I believe they also have a editor on phone. So if you want to check that out as well, feel free. Again, I'm not sponsored by anything here, so it's just me saying my thoughts. Okay, no one is paying me to say this. CapCut is probably the best out of all the softwares here. I believe, in my opinion, it's easy to pick up, easy to use. In my opinion, it has feature of Kdenlive Live and it has features of DaVinci Resolve. But what I really like about it is it's easier to use than DaVinci Resolve. So one thing I really like in CapCut is if you are doing a short and you want to subtitle it, there are actually templates for the subtitles. And what's even better, it says there is a creative platform powered by AI, right? You can actually use the AI to auto-generate subtitles. So you can just edit from there. Let's say you have like a 45-second short, and let's say you're too lazy to just type out all the subtitles, which, hey, I'm looking at you. Yes, you're lazy like me. I understand. If you don't want to type it out, just use auto subtitles and correct whichever one you need to correct. Simple as that. And not only that, they also have templates for you can use. Templates of subtitles, really amazing. They also have transitions, effects, all built in there. You don't have to pay for any of it. Actually, no, you do have to pay for some of it, but there are some free ones as well. The free ones will do you good anyways. And yeah, all these really good. You can edit sound easily. Just really good features. And if you really love it so much, you can actually pay for the pro version, but I don't think it's necessary at all. The free version is already good enough. But yeah, so that's video editing software covered here. So that's video editing software. My goodness, I just realized I'm not even halfway through this whole thing here. So I'm really talking a lot here. So now let's get a little bit into the hardware side. We're talking so much about the software. Let's get a little bit into the hardware. But let's pause for this moment. If you're enjoying the content and you're just joining here, remember to leave a like if you enjoy. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel for more. So equipment wise, hardware wise, before you actually even start, to think about getting your equipment, remember to set a budget. So $50, $25, whatever it is, set your budget. Make sure you don't overspend it, because trust me, in situations where you are looking for things, you can be like, oh crap, I like this, I like that, I like this, I want to spend this, I want to buy this, and then you end up spending more than what you want to, and then you get home, sometimes you may regret it. So set your budget and try to keep to it. All right, if you have a budget of $20, make sure that, okay, anything above $20 I'm not even gonna look at. Right, this is a kind of a you thing, but I think it's important to actually at least have a budget, and at least before you get your equipment as well. I forgot to put this in the slide, but look at the market. Look at what companies are selling and how much they're selling their products, their specifications, reviews online. Make sure you do some research on the equipment you're buying. Let's say you're buying a webcam. Look at some of the popular webcams, how much they cost, what are their specs like, and this kind of stuff before you actually go out there and try to buy these cameras or this equipment that you need. Okay, very important. Do you do your homework, do your research. When I say research, I don't mean like a 50-page report. No, I mean just make sure that you know what you're getting, and make sure you know what the market is like, so you don't get cheated, I guess. Okay, so the content creation essentials. So this is hardware that is required here. Okay, this is I would say 100%, please get this. If you don't have this, please don't live stream, all right? Please don't live stream. A good computer, of course, that is subjective, but you need to have a computer that's at least able to run OBS, and make sure it can stream to YouTube or Twitch or whatever, or is able to record videos, able to edit videos, do whatever content you want to do. Make sure it's able to do it. All right. Make sure the graphics are good, the videos is good, video card, sorry, graphics card is good, audio card or whatever. Make sure that you got all the essential tools necessary to run good editing, good recording, and post it to YouTube or post it to Twitch or wherever you want to do it to. I guess it's very important. At least kind of check this before you even start doing your like testing live streams and all that. Okay, and then of course microphone. Now the thing is, okay, see, this is one thing that I want to bring up. I say microphones are essential because think about this, right? Think about this. I'll give you a situation. Think about this. If you're someone, like, if you're a viewer, okay, put yourself in the shoes of a viewer. Would you want to watch, let's say if there are two identical live streams, literally two of the same game being played by two people at the same time? Like, imagine if they're both same, right? Would you want to go to the live stream or like the video that has no commentary, or do you want to go to like the video or live stream that has commentary? Okay, I guess maybe that is a little bit dependent as well. But if let's say these two are like new streamers or new content creators and you're just starting out, which one would you go to? I mean, personally, I think more of us would choose the person that has a microphone and is speaking throughout the content, right? That is what I think would be better. The thing about having a microphone as well, if you kind of speak, it also allows you to do additional content. See, like what I'm doing right now, this is presentations that I don't usually do here. But my gaming live streams, I also talk to them, so I already have a microphone. So, it's versatile. I can do other type of content. I don't have to worry about crap. If I'm going to do a presentation, how am I going to do it? I have no mic. You know what I'm saying? It allows you to pivot, but not only that, it gives you a personality. It gives me a reason to kind of like, it gives me like an insight to who you are. I know you a little bit. Is this someone that I will like? It at least gives me the opportunity to have that feeling. Have that connection with you in a way. If hopefully what I'm saying makes sense here. Okay, hang on 1 second here. Okay, yep. Okay, so this is also another question that I see people ask a lot, and I will address it what I think is the best option. Do I need a camera? What about green screen? So this kind of two questions usually come like back to back, or together, I guess. So what I would say, it's recommended. It's good to have a camera, but it's not 100% necessary that you have a camera for your live streams. And this also depends on whether you are comfortable with having a camera of your setup. If you, let's say you have like a really nasty background, then don't bother. Also, I know some people want to be budget streamers, so a webcam can be expensive, especially the high quality ones. So do check whether it falls within your budget as well. A green screen as well, I would say, is recommended, but it's not super necessary. So for those that don't know, actually, if you actually have a good enough graphics card and you go to OBS, and if you put your webcam in there, there's actually this option for NVIDIA background removal. So if you have a good enough graphics card, you can use that, remove your background. You don't even need a green screen. And please, I want to reiterate this again. Please do your research before you actually start going out there and buying equipment, because trust me, sometimes it will help. Trust me, it will help. So kind of make sure that you know what you're getting. Don't pay too much for the things that you shouldn't be paying too much for, like a green screen. If please, okay, this is one thing that I don't usually say out loud, but please don't buy Elgato green screens. They are way too expensive. They look really neat and all, but too expensive. All right, again, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I don't have any ill will towards Elgato, Gelato, whatever. Um, you know, I'm just saying as it is. Elgato is probably one of the brands that's a little bit more expensive, especially when it comes to green screen. Please do your research and do not get fooled. Okay. Once again, feel free to ask any questions at any point of time during the live stream if you are, you know, feeling the need to ask any questions or whatever. Once again, I'd just like to reiterate, this is very beginner level. These are things that you probably should know or should at least have in mind when you are getting into content creation in general. Now, another question I keep hearing about is content creation expensive, isn't it? Or a variation of this question at least. Honestly, it's not expensive as some people make it out to be. And to be honest, I only answered this in this manner because if you go on YouTube and look online, you can see people promoting products that are like so expensive, but trust me, it can be budgeted well. If you look at the market right, you get your equipment at the right timing, it can be relatively affordable, all right? So be very careful with YouTube videos, because the reason why I put that point is because some of the YouTube videos you watch as well are our sponsored content. So be on the be mindful of that, be on the lookout for that, because there are some content creators that do this. I won't say who. So there are some content creators which review mics and review kind of like other hardware equipment, and it might not be so obvious that they are actually sponsored by this company or sponsored to review this product. So be very mindful of that. Okay, be very mindful, especially if something costs like a lot of money. Just keep that in mind. As I mentioned, some could sell you equipment at high prices. The Elgato example that I mentioned earlier. Plan your budget and make sure to only get necessary equipment, which is what I also said earlier, and I'm going to reiterate it here. It's very important to have a budget. Don't go over budget, okay? Because for me personally, and I believe for you, at least when you're starting out, this will be a hobby for you. So don't put so much money into something that you don't see you be doing for a long time. I mean, not sorry. Let me rephrase that. Don't put so much money into something that you're just starting out, and if you put a lot of money into something like this, you may not do this for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Start cheap, and once you get comfortable, if it's something you like, then maybe you can invest a little bit more as the time goes on. All right, almost botched that, but we did it. Okay. Now the next question you might ask is, what do I stream? All right, what do you stream? That's a really good question. Again, but this one is something that you should have at least a rough idea of what you want to do. All right, even though let's say you want to go into gaming, you don't know what game you want to stream, that's okay. At least if you have a rough idea that you're going to gaming, that should be good enough. Okay. Let me just get into as I mentioned, this is something only you, I repeat, you, emphasis on you, what you're gonna do. Okay, no, I'm serious, but this is something that you should decide and you should know what to do. The thing is, you can ask ideas from, okay, so I put it down there at the bottom left. If you're struggling for ideas, you can you can ask people. You can look at content that you're watching, or maybe something that's trending, and you're like, that is interesting, I should get into that. You can also use a keyword research or stats website, which I'll cover a little bit later. Okay. That might be a little bit too in-depth for beginners, but I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So for those of people who may not know, this is more for YouTube side, but it also can be used for Twitch side. There are kind of statistic websites out there that show you, okay, what are some good keywords to use for my YouTube video, or what is how many people are watching this game on Twitch. There are websites like this, which I'll show later. So just hang in there. Okay. Okay. So this is another question that I think is kind of apparent that I see in the community. What if my ideas are failing and no one's watching me? Okay. First of all, let me reassure you this. Okay. It is very normal to feel this way, especially if you're streaming something that maybe doesn't really have a big community. Um, outside of gaming, this might be really hard for me to give it context. But for like gaming, I can give you context. Let's say you're playing a single player game that came out in like 1999 or something like that. Okay, you're playing a single player game that came out in 1999. You must understand that whoever's on the internet right now, the people, the younger generation, they may not be interested in games that came out in 1999. So if you do that, chances are you're not going to be able to be discovered that easily. People may not want to click on your content because they don't really care about what you're streaming. Whereas you stream something that's a little bit more relevant, a little bit more contextual, a little bit more people are playing right now, then that gives you some opportunity to be discovered, and an opportunity for people to watch you, because they'll be like, hey, this guy's playing a game that I play. Maybe I should check in on him and see how's he playing the game, what's his progress like. If the relatability factor is high on content creation websites, if you can find a way to relate with a bunch of people, that is already the first step. That is a good first step, and playing a similar game or a game that people like is a good first step. Second thing I need to take note, second thing I need you to understand is that sometimes discoverability is not the best. It might be hard to discover a new YouTuber, a new streamer, whatever. Especially with Twitch. I realize this with Twitch. And there are ways to overcome this. Like I mentioned, the keyword research thing. But also, this is another area where you need to kind of take a look at your competition. Do some research in this area to make sure that you are streaming in an area where A, is not too crowded, and B, is not too empty. You don't want to live in a desert, but you don't want to live in a crowded city as well. You want that in between sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to live in like an open desert where no one's there to help you, but you don't want to live in like a congested city where you have no place to live. You want that middle ground where at the city, there are people around you, there are buildings, not that empty. You know what I'm saying? That is that sweet spot you want to hit, and that is the analogy that I'm using here to kind of explain discoverability. You want that game that has people streaming, but not too many people streaming, so that you know that people are watching the content, there's a demand for the content. But not only that, but it's also a place that you can get into and kind of create a fan base of your own. Also, I'll talk about networking later on if I have a bit of time, because this is something that someone has actually brought to me. Might take them time to find that solid idea. Yeah. So don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to, keep changing. But obviously don't change that every one stream. Maybe give it like 3 to 4 streams. See what your views are like, what your likes are like. See what you are getting. See whether you're getting followers, you're getting subscribers, and then from there decide if you need to change. Don't give it like one stream and then change it completely, because that might not be a good accurate reflection of the game that you're streaming. You're not giving it a proper shot, which is what I'm saying. I just realized I'm almost like only halfway through my presentation here. Right, I'll try to speed up a little bit. Using websites. Okay, so I mentioned earlier, using websites, something that you can do. So you can use a website for keyword research statistics. Might be helpful. Once again, free 99. Everything I'm telling you here mostly is free, unless the hardware things. But that's. Sorry, as I mentioned, every kind of advice that I mentioned here is mostly free. Okay, so once again, I would like to just put a quick disclaimer. This will just help you. It will not guarantee you to get like views. It will not guarantee you to get like hundreds and thousands of views. Not guaranteed for you to go viral, but it'll definitely help you get some views in from like the keywords, the search and the search bar on YouTube, or maybe even on Twitch. Okay, so what are some of the websites you can use? The first one is vidIQ. So I'll try to explain this to a beginner. Okay, so basically vidIQ, if you look at the left side of the image, you do see a lot of tabs. I just want you to focus on one. I just want you guys to focus on one thing here. Okay, hang on, is it hang on 1 second. Okay. Uh, okay. I don't know if I'm live. I just heard something. Okay. The first thing is vidIQ. Now I want you to focus on just the keyword thing, which is what is highlighted over here. Okay. Just focus on the keyword tab, nothing else. That is all you need with vidIQ here. So what this keyword tab actually does, you can actually put in a few keywords, like a few search terms. Like for example, in this vidIQ example here, this person has typed out how to grow on YouTube, and you can see generates for you an overall score. From there, I would recommend 50 and above. If you have an overall score of like 50 and above, then you should probably put that search term in your tags at the bottom of your YouTube video. So that's how you use vidIQ. You can see how good a search term is, where you'll rank. Some people might wondering what are like the search volume and competition is. So search volume just means how many people are actually searching that particular term that you put up there, and competition just kind of shows you how many people are in that particular field, and it gives you a rating of like 0 to 100, I believe, with I think higher being worse. So if you get a higher number for competition, that means more competition. Lower number is better. Search volume is the opposite. The higher the search volume, the better it is. Okay, so that's vidIQ. So this is mostly for YouTube only, the YouTube search bar. Great for getting tags. And also, actually, wait, crap, I missed one slide here. Sorry. One more thing that I want to bring up, one more website, is Selenium. This is more for Twitch side. So for Twitch side, there are actually tags, but the tags don't work the same as on YouTube. But what you can do is you can see the overall kind of like stats, monthly stats, weekly stats of any game that you can stream on there. This is just an example of DayZ here, 2018. So you can see when the peak viewers are, what the average is like, and you can, and from here you can kind of get an idea. Okay, what is the peak time for the game? When is ideally when I should be streaming and all that. So yeah, this is a website you can look at. There's more with Twitch, but I just listed Selenium here as one of the options actually. Okay, where to stream? Right, so actually at the bottom left there, very interestingly enough, this is a third-party application that I have. It's called Restream. So basically what this allows you to do is it allows you to stream your live stream on another platform. So for beginners, if you want to stream on 2 platforms, you can actually do that with this thing called Restream. It's pretty cool. You get, I wouldn't say you get double the views, but you can live stream to 2 platforms. So it gives you the opportunity to maybe get more audiences in, which is very good at the start. These are all the platforms that Restream supports. So now, where to stream? This is just again my advice. And I'm gonna mention I'm only comparing YouTube and Twitch here as I stream on those platforms. No cake, because I'll be the highest IQ streamer on Twitch, and the highest IQ streamer on Kick, and I don't want to break the mold. But if you want to break the mold, go ahead. And also I don't want my IQ to degenerate, of course. But here, okay, right. So this is the comparison between YouTube and Twitch here. I'll kind of go through them quickly because I feel like I'm running out of time here. Right, YouTube, Twitch. YouTube has YouTube Shorts and live streams and videos, but Twitch only has live stream. Twitch actually has videos you can upload, but it's so dead that I don't think anyone ever uses the Twitch video uploader for anything. Like, I gotta be honest, I didn't even know this was a thing until like right now when I'm thinking about it. So yeah, so Twitch, that's why I only put that only for live stream, because no one ever uses the video uploader on Twitch. I'm sorry, Twitch, just no one uses your video uploader, but it's there in case if you want to be that one person that uses it. Okay. YouTube has basic chat features. In terms of chat, I would say Twitch is better. It has more support, more functionality. If you have like a bot account or you have a bot, it's easier to get it integrated with Twitch than it is for YouTube. You might even find that on Twitch it has better and more features than at YouTube. So sometimes YouTube you can only have like very basic minimal features, whereas on Twitch it will have more expanded features, more advanced features. But one thing I'll give it to YouTube, it has better discoverability. The search bar on YouTube is really good for you to get discovered. I'm not saying it's the best, but of YouTube and Twitch comparison, I would say YouTube is better. Twitch, the discoverability not that great. If someone is sorting by highest to lowest viewers and you're just starting out, chances are you'll be at the bottom. Even in the recommended line, I don't know how recommended is recommended, so I can't like comment on that. Okay, so that's that. Okay, yeah, we got like a few more slides to go here. When to stream? I think this last few slides a little bit. Okay, I don't know why I put this here. Okay, this is I put this wrongly. Okay, so good. Okay, so when to stream? So one of the common questions that I keep getting is, one of the common questions that I hear about at least is, should I have a schedule? And I would say, if you can, yes. This is because it allows your audiences to know when you're live. And so if think about it from a viewer's perspective, if I know when someone is live, I'll be like, okay, Wednesday 10 p.m. my favorite stream is going live. I'll try to free up my slot then so I can at least watch it, you know? So this is kind of the mindset why you should have a schedule. And I think the whole sort of TV logic works well as well, even though now TV is not that popular, but I think on YouTube, the logic still makes sense. What I'm talking about is, so you notice how usually like TV programs, they always stay on at the same slot at the same time. And that's because if they change it, people will be like, oh, I forgot that, and everyone just goes mental in it. The point is, why TV does that is because the people that always want to watch the program are always free at the time. If they change it, then people will be like, oh, I get triggered, yeah, you know. But the reason why they get triggered is because it's always in their mind. They have always a set schedule in mind. It's like, right, Monday 9 p.m. I'm gonna sit down and watch news. And I always every Monday 9 p.m. I expect the news to be on TV or something like that, right? So they always have that mindset, and if you screw up with that mindset, they get triggered. So that is why it's good to have a schedule. I know that's very boomer mindset, but that also works well for like content creation, especially live streaming, YouTube videos. Well, if you schedule your YouTube videos, I think it's always good to have a schedule as well. Like maybe you release every Friday at 9 p.m. or something. So it just makes you feel a little bit more professional, and it's good to tell people that okay, I always release my videos or always live stream at this timing, so people can always take note. Oh, okay, this is what when you do your live streams, I will be there. It makes it a little bit easier. Okay, right. This is a very important question for beginners. Okay, the reason why I put this thing here is because it's very important that you. It's very important. I feel that before you go live, you need to ask yourself this question. And if you don't have an answer, don't bother going live. I'm being dead serious. If you don't have an answer to this question, don't bother going live. I know this is not something that people generally ask in your chat, but when people view the stream, they're coming into your chat and they're viewing your content, they will have something like this in mind. They'll be like, oh, okay, this guy's playing, I don't know, Red Dead Redemption 2 or something. And then they notice, oh, look at that guy. That guy has 1 million subscribers. And he's playing Red Dead Redemption 2. He's having more views. Why should I watch someone who's a new streamer as compared to that guy that has 1 million streamers? You should be able to, okay, I'm not saying that you should be able to come up with a definitive and correct answer, but you have to come up with at least an answer. Give me something that separates you from the pack at least. Even if you don't do it well, at least give me something that separates you from the pack. It could be something simple as, oh, I involve my audience by having commands. For me, that's what I do. Why do you think I have those commands? It's something that sets me apart from all the other creators. That's how That is my value, and that's my value added. That's why people, that's why people should come and watch me, because that's my value that I give them. If you watch me, I give you commands that I can use, that you can use. I mean, not for this stream, but like, you get what I mean. With you, you should ask yourself this question. Your answer. Please don't answer. Please make sure your answers are not the same as mine. But if I'm thinking this, usually when I'm watching people, I'm thinking this in my head. Like, okay, so like, why should I watch you? Maybe you have like a comedic personality. Maybe you have maybe you have epic gameplay. Maybe you can maybe you have a skill to maybe tell jokes at the push at every 10 seconds. I don't know. Give me something unique. Give me something that sets you apart. It could be your personality. It could be something you do on your streams. It could be something you're playing. Just always have this at the back of the head. If you're not connecting people, or you're not doing something different, if I'm a viewer and I can't answer this question, you lost a viewer. I'm sorry, you lost a viewer. All right, it is how it is. It is how it is. Okay, very important, very important. And you might say, well, you know what? You're just talking out of your ass here. Okay, no, I'm not talking about my ass. I'll show you 2 examples of people that are doing this. I will not say are doing this, but are 2 examples of people that can answer this question well. Okay, so for example, Markiplier. And again, these 2 examples are people that I don't watch. These are things that people said to me, okay, or things I've said, things that I've seen said about these people. So Markiplier, he's fun and silly in the best ways. He's also intellectual and genuinely a good person. But basically, I like his personality. Keyword: I like his personality. That is the thing that makes this person, whoever wrote this thing down, keep coming back. Or that is what keeps coming back. And fun and silly. See, the personality aspect. That is answering this question up here. Why should people watch Markiplier over another streamer? Well, because according to this person likes Markiplier's personality. That's why he keeps coming back to Markiplier streams. Okay? It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be a very niche thing you answer to this question. It can be something very simple. And let's look at another guy that I don't watch, Ryan Trahan. Someone told me this about him. I think we all know our favorite YouTuber, Ryan Trahan. I didn't say this, by the way. I didn't say this. Mostly known for his unique editing, funny personality, and social skills. See, whoever this person is, they list down 3 things that they like about Ryan Trahan: unique editing, funny personality, and social skills. All these, once again, goes back to this question. Why do people watch Ryan Trahan or other streamers in the same category? Because of the 3 things. Okay, so these are the 2 examples. And again, I'm not pulling people out my ass here. These are literally 2 popular YouTubers. Okay, so I'll close off the stream here in a little bit. It's actually just perfect timing, actually. Of course, the final tip, of course, is be yourself. Have fun, of course, while doing this live streaming. Now this is something that I discovered just a while before. Something that I discovered, something that I think is really interesting. So if you stay to the end, good on you, because let me tell you, most people won't cover this, but I'm covering this because I'm a good person. I tell you as it is. All right, no BS around here. No BS. All right, I'm telling you as it is. This is very recent. I think this was like last week or something. As you can see, expected payment November 21 to 26. So this is very recent. Of course, this year, of course. Someone posted that they got this amount of money for 176,000 views. Now, I want to talk a little bit about YouTube payouts here. When I saw this, I was like, I need to talk about this. Because as I mentioned earlier on the live stream, remember about the whole mindset thing? Remember I said earlier? It's very important that when you go into YouTube, your mindset should not be all about the money, because then you will find this a chore and then you will quit it like within a few months, and you will feel it's a waste of time. And I'm going to prove that point right now. I'm going to prove to you that point right now. So from an outsider looking in, from like a casual viewer viewing in, you might look at this and be like, oh, what's wrong with that? 1,920? That's like a good payout for. That's like a good payout for a YouTuber. That's quite good. That's actually quite a lot of money. I think I mean, depending on where you live, that might even be a good payday, good monthly payday for some of you. Or depending on what job you're holding, I guess. But let me show you the reality. Let me kind of explain to the reality, and how am I gonna how am I gonna get the reality to you? Well, as Einstein say, I'm gonna do some quick maths in it. I'm gonna do some quick math, and I'm gonna show you the quick reality of the situation. Okay. Again, I'm not doing anything here. Just basic math. 176,000 views equal to 109. I'm sorry, $1,920. This I believe is in USD, by the way. I just like to point out. So what I did was I just wanted to find out how much one view cost. All right, and I just take 1920 divided by 176,000, and I get 1 cent. 1 cent per view. Okay, is this what you expected? I don't know. I genuinely don't know if this is what you expected. But as someone who's been doing live stream and content for a long time, videos as well, I can tell you this is sounds about right. This sounds about right. I think previously I did used to get paid on another channel, but like one view was about like 2 cents maybe. So this kind of makes sense. This actually looks like it works out. Okay, so this is the reality of the situation. You get one view on a video, and if you're monetizable, of course, you only get 1 cent. So let's say you're getting 1,000 views. Let's say you're getting 1,000 views per video, for example. All right, it's just putting it out there. 1,000 views per video. You're only getting $10 per video. And let's say you put out like 4 videos per month. That's only a $40 payout. You're getting 4,000 views per month, but you're only getting paid $40. Is that good money? You tell me. All right, you tell me. And with that, I'll let you digest that. And that's the end. All right, that's the end of the live stream here that I have for you today. We made quite good timing actually, even with the hiccup there. So we actually made quite good timing. I also did getting copyright, which is what I wanted to talk about earlier. So that's of course good as well. So that took a little bit of time as well. And yeah, feel free to ask me any questions. If you guys want me to continue this, please let me know. I don't mind going into like the software part a little bit, going to like talking about OBS, talking about maybe Prism Live Studio. I just need to find a way to record them because it's a little bit weird to record them. I need to record like my whole desktop, which I just don't really like, to be honest. But yeah, if you want me to talk about like the software a little bit more, talk about what what do how do you use the software, you have some software concerns, let me know. Or there are things here that I did not really cover as well. Feel free to ask a question. You don't have to ask a question right now. If you're here, well, my DMs are always open to the people that are here, so feel free to DM me and I'll try to get another stream up answering some of your more questions that you have. You have a question? Okay, it's a good time to ask right now. I think I have time to take maybe 1 or 2 questions actually. No. Feel free to ask now, actually, because I'm still here. I have time to maybe ask like 1 to 2 questions. I don't mind. I don't mind anything, but since I'm here, is I guess good to ask. I should probably put Q&A here instead of Finn. I don't know why I put Finn. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? Let me go back to the first thing here. There we go. That is not the first thing. There we go. If it's like, if it's a little bit more in depth, a little bit more advanced, maybe I'll cover it in another stream. We'll see how, but I'll try to at least get something back to you. I made it different. Okay, and should I post them all simultaneously? Oh, that's actually a really good question, actually. Should I post them all? I would. I would do one of two things here. I would do one of two things. One. So these are the two things that I would do. Okay, so definitely I will not post them all at one shot here. I would not post all at one shot. I mean, it depends on how many clips you have. I mean, if you have like 50, then maybe post like 2 at one time or 3 at one time. It's fine. But if you have like 10, what I would recommend you to do is this. I would recommend you to have a so you can schedule your uploads as well. So this is what I recommend you schedule your uploads, and you can get some, I guess, views from there. So let's say if you have like 10 clips, right? This is how I suggest you schedule it. You schedule it maybe once every Wednesday, like 8 p.m. or something. Example. Okay, you schedule them like a few days in advance. So maybe today's Monday. Maybe if you want to upload one on Wednesday, you schedule a upload Wednesday 8 p.m. That's when the upload will go live, and then people can watch it together. That is how we can do it. You can schedule, and then from there, maybe you wait 2 to 3 days, and then schedule the next one. So let's say after the Wednesday. So let's say if it's Wednesday today, okay, the upload is done. Schedule the next one. Let's say maybe you want to have the next one on Saturday or Sunday. Schedule that on Wednesday, and then when Saturday or Sunday comes, and then that premiere's finished, that video upload is finished, then you schedule the next one. You can do that, or another thing that I recommend is schedule the uploads, but always schedule them at the same time if you find that it's really good for you. For example, let's say if you schedule it at Wednesday 8 p.m. and you realize, wow, I'm getting a lot of views at this timing, do schedule your next one at Wednesday 8 p.m. as well, and then continue doing it for Wednesday 8 p.m. That is something that else that I would recommend as well. I don't really recommend you to upload simultaneously unless you have like a bunch of clips. I would say quality over quantity. But I don't know. Yeah. All right. Other than that, that's actually something that I should bring up. Actually, that's actually a good point about upload schedule, or at least live stream schedule. Yeah, in general, when it comes to video and live streaming schedule, don't do too much, because you know why? Sometimes less is more and more is less. I think I've said this somewhere in like one of my previous live streams. You don't want to give your audience too much, but you also don't want to give them too little. So but if I had to choose one, if I were to give my audience too much content or too little content, I would choose too little, because if there's too little and there's a demand for your content, it will always leave people wanting more, and that's always a good thing, because if they want more, they will always come to watch your live streams and watch your videos, because they always want more. If you get too much, they'll get fatigued. They'll be like, oh, this guy's uploaded a video again, god damn it, I don't want to watch it this time. You know what I'm saying? You know the feeling. You need to understand your audience and, make content sparingly as well. But of course, each action has a reaction as well. So there are good things with putting a lot of live streams out there as well. It's just it's just what you want to do. There are advantages and advantages. It's like what I said. I can only advise you. There are, like, with this, there's no like right or wrong option, With live streaming, there is like